just kind of funny because like this is the Sony charging cable, and I didn't have it with me the whole time, and it's still here. So like half my life is now in Kennett, or I'd really actually say 60% of everything is in Kennett, and the other 40% still scattered here all over the floor. And okay, so that's Blake's. Forget that, but that's mine. Screw this.
Some of them are chunkers. Did you look at them?
Yeah, they're pretty big.
They were teeny tiny little ones, and then they got massive. My mom has a pool in her backyard, and it had a leak, and so she drained it, and it rained, and literally overnight there were 50 billion tadpoles in there. So I took some of them, and we were rehoming them, but I kept a jar to watch them because I haven't done that since I was a kid. But when they start growing little feets, I'll release them over in the pond over here.
So this is my neighbor Blake. She is my partner in crime. We have been making content together since 2014, and me saying that now, I just feel like I grew a bunch of gray hairs.
Shout out to these two, they traveled here from Florida. That's how except that I'm not your neighbor anymore.
True.
Those really far neighbors.
Yeah.
You're like several states away.
Yeah, you're my neighbor, like 1,000 miles. The 1,000-mile neighbor. No. So where did you get Thatcher?
I got him in California. He is gonna be 9, I think, this year. Or maybe he's gonna be 8. He's gonna be 8 or 9. Can't remember.
We've been working together for 10 years, and Thatchy is 9 years, because I remember shortly after you moved to LA, yeah, you just showed up with Thatcher one day.
Oh, that's a funny story. Did you tell them?
No, this is the first time they're meeting this cute little cuddle worm, so you want to tell them?
So, Rob and I were roommates, and I really wanted a weenie dog because I had a weenie dog right before I went off to college, and then my sister loved that weenie dog so much that when I went to take him back with me and I left for LA, she like cried, and I was like, well, I can't do that. She was like so little at the time. So after I was out there, I went searching for a weenie dog, and I didn't think I was gonna be able to afford him because most weenie dogs are like well over $1,000. And I didn't really have a lot of money. And I really wanted a dog, and I really wanted to have like a hiking buddy. I went looking, and I actually went looking for a weenie dog that was similar to the one I already had, which was a red weenie dog, because he was part of a really big litter, Thatcher was. And the weenie dog that was red, that was his brother, we did not get along. He was super hyper, he was chewing on everything, he was barking already. At that age, that's like not a good indication. If you're looking for a weenie dog that's not super rowdy and doesn't bark, if that's not your energy style, then that type of weenie dog is usually not a good fit for you. So Thatchy waited until all of the other weenie dogs kind of like came up to me and then ran away, and they're all chasing each other in circles around the couch in the living room at this person's house. Thatchy like is watching me from the distance. He's really shy. He's not part of the rest of the group. He picks up this little like round donut looking toy, and he brings it over to me, and he's just like, wanna play with my toy? So I played with him for a few minutes, and then he crawled in my lap and he went to sleep. My first weenie dog, that was the same thing that he did. I, first off, didn't know what a weenie dog was. I had always grown up with like St. Bernards. I picked him up and he fell asleep in my arms, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in love. So I knew it was meant to be. And then on top of that, the owner saw how much we got along and how much Thatcher really loved me. So he gave me a major discount. was more interested in the fact that he was going to be going to a really good home. So I take Thatcher, and I didn't tell Rob because one, I didn't know how he was going to react, and two, I wasn't actually expecting to get a dog. I was more just sort of looking. So I go back home, and I'm like down the street, and I'm got Thatcher in my lap, and I have this video of him where he's just like sitting in my lap and he's whining, and I sent it to Rob, and Rob's reaction was ... and like I see on the text message like the little dots are going when you know someone's responding to you, and he goes, "Did you get an effing dog?" And I was like, maybe. And he was all pissed off, and then the second he met Thatcher, he fell in love, so I guess it worked out. But I wouldn't recommend doing that to your roommate. It's not very nice.
You know, Blake is very responsible, but I didn't know that, and I'm sitting over here having these like imagining like me getting stuck with the dog while she's going out like clubbing, or like, oh, like I got a gig for 3 days, can you just watch him? But Blake was always responsible, and if she did need me to watch him or something, it was always plenty of time ahead.
I think we should do the boxes first.
So I lived out in LA with Blake for a good 4 years, going on 5, and then we ended up moving out here, and then I lived out in Ocala for quite a few years. Blake had to hop on call, but luckily we're pretty much done. There's obviously still some junk in the background, but in terms of important papers, documents, like filmmaking equipment, anything that like family heirloom, family kind of like memories, most of that's actually already up in Pennsylvania. So kind of just getting the secondary stuff here, and then things like there's a yoga mat over there, or I mean, I guess I have like this avocado phone charger that's kind of cute. Stuff like that can wait till the third and final time when I close this apartment down for the final time, and I officially leave Florida and become either a Pennsylvania, Delaware, or Maryland resident, depending on where I find the best house for the cheapest or best apartment.